Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another videos. The paid request this time from Walter. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested, requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for episodes 2 and 3 of The Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. And I mentioned how I did enjoy the first episode, and I enjoyed these episodes as well. I definitely think it's one of the better things Stallone has done in the past 10 years. And if I heard this is the end of the second season, if so, cool. Hopefully Stallone, if it keeps up with this, should do this as long as he can. Now, for those who don't know, it's about Sylvester Stallone's character who's in jail for quite a few decades, was with the mob, did not talk, got out, thought he was going to get a better deal, but instead they give him a job to set up Operation Oklahoma. Of course, he thinks it's a shit detail, and he's been screwed over. By this point, his wife and his daughter are long gone, and has talked to him in 15 or so years, and he's getting things done in Oklahoma. He gets his driver, becomes a kind of a sidekick character. Didn't mind the actor who played the driver. And the driver, he's very much more and more wanting to be a made guy, wanting to be into this operation, into this system. And Stallone even warns, hey, listen, I'm not here to get you killed. You better be very, very sure, because they could come for you, they could come for your family. But the guy's adamant about it. There's this woman that he sleeps with, and then she's like, wait, you're how old? You're 77 years old? Jesus. And you find out she's with the ATF agency. Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm Agency. And also quite a bit of the fish out of water, man from his own time, trying to understand the culture of today. Like in episode 3, someone says they're triggered, and he's like, what's triggered? Like, he doesn't know what that means. And the second episode, he absolutely makes fun of the whole idea of pronouns, which I love that scene. Now, granted, if episode 2 and 3, if I talk about like all that happened, if you really think about it, not a whole lot happens in the fact of between episode 2 and 3, he needs to get a credit or debit card to find out where his daughter lives. You gotta go get a driver's license because it's expired. You gotta go do a driving test. While he's doing it, he gets shot at. You get a bit of a car chase. He finds out where this person is who shot at him. And episode 3 ends with what he's going to do next. You gotta watch the next episode. Meanwhile, in episode 2, he gets this deal with the weed store to find out who's your supplier, and is able to get a better deal, a better money-making deal for the supplies. And then you get a little bit of the ATF agent, a little bit of her backstory and why she's kind of drawn to Stallone's character, a little bit more of the driver, a little bit of his family life, his dad and such. I think it's his dad. His uncle was his dad. But I would say, while it seems like not much has happened in the plot, what makes it work is Stallone himself, and not, slowly warming up to the driver, warming up to the ATF girl, warming up to these other support. And the show's a bit funnier than I thought it would be. It's not a comedy, but there are some nice funny moments, and some really nice dramatic moments for Stallone to play off. And what was it? They said this season was it 6 episodes or 5? Or it seemed like a very short season. I don't know how many episodes are supposed to be in one season. Or maybe that's just all that's out yet. I don't know. But it definitely keeps me intrigued to see where it's going next. So that episode 2, like, the way it begins is Stallone wants to send a package, is going to pay in cash, and they're like, oh, we don't take cash. And the way Stallone's like, what the fuck is going on in the world? cash is king. How about this? How about you pay for this and I'll give you the money. Yeah. Now, sometimes there's little issues. Like the episode 2, there's one bit of bad editing. There's a sequence where Stallone is standing by ready to cross a road, and he sees like a mother and her son. We see him staring like this. Then it cuts to the mom and kid, and you see like Stallone's arm, like right here. I imagine my hand's his shoulder from the back, like here. And then he starts walking. Like he starts walking, it cuts. And it cuts to Stallone standing there. And then he walks. That's not the best way of editing. Because it's like he's walking, cut to the next shot, he's staying still, and then he walks. It's a bit inconsistent. I'm surprised that was left in the show. You would think, of all the people involved, someone was not paying attention. So I don't know what the deal with that was. But this is one of the few instances I saw that. Also, is this something made up for the show, or is this real? Where there could be a spot that you could go in this circle and you could talk and there's no sound? Like there's a spot that this old lady tells him that people could go in. This is outside, and you go in the circle and you can say whatever you want, scream and shout, but if someone's like 10 feet away, they can't hear you. Again, is this a real thing, or is this made up bullshit? Because I have never fucking heard this before. If it's a real thing, I am astonished. If it's made up, then I don't know why the fuck they did that. But if I had to assume it's a real thing, because it's too crazy to make it up in a... I know this sounds dumb, but if so, I've never heard of it. I don't know. I think they tried to explain it, but I forget what the explanation was. So, and that comes in play at the end of episode 2. And what makes this work is Stallone himself. He's definitely the best part. And being a Stallone fan, it's nice to see him in something worth a shit. It's nice to see, because I am a Stallone fan, and it's nice to see him in the show, just having fun. And he's got to get a debit card, he's got to take this driver's license exam, and he's like giving the guy the evil stare to make him show the exam and copy his answers. Or when he tries to go a deal for this weed deal, and this other guy comes up acting tough. You ever been on a horse? And Stallone goes, you ever been on life support? I love that. Or after the weed deal, he realizes that the stuff he's eating has TLC. Or THC? Not TLC. Yeah, his table is a... Don't go over waterfalls. Has stuff that gets him high, and he's smoking, he's getting high, and he's talking, and that's where he's like, what the fuck is with the pronouns? They, them, boom, ba, da, hey. The only pronoun is it, as in it can't take this shit anymore. I'm so glad someone did that. Now someone could say, well, it's a mob guy, killer, saying it. But I'm just glad that someone fucking finally had the balls to say how fucking stupid it is. The whole pronoun shit. It's fucking stupid. It's stupid. What's my pronoun? My name, called Matt. That's my fucking pronoun. I'm a meat popsicle. God damn it. How do we make this infuse more special? How about fuck? How about your pronoun be fuck? F and U. That's your pronouns. F and U. Jesus Christ. And it has a nice emotional ending where he's able to get the card. He finds where his daughter's at. He gives a phone call. Obviously it doesn't end well. That theme referenced earlier, he goes in. He gives a nice emotional performance. pretty much confessing, I stopped seeing you. I said because it was hard on you, but no, I stopped seeing her because it was too hard on me, and I'm sorry. And it's a very nice emotional performance by Stallone, and this is what I want to see him doing more. Because as much as I love the guy, he can't do Rambo anymore. Shown in Rambo 5 that he can't do it. He can't do what he can't do a cliffhanger type of movie nowadays. Just how it is. This I prefer more. And I downplayed it because I, was bummed out by a lot of recent Stallone films. Grudge Match. Bullet to the Head. Fucking... What the hell was that movie called? Bat Trace. Did not like the Steve Plan films. Thought they all were Dante nut lickers. Fuck that. This is where Stallone would fit. I just hope that they really start moving the plot more and more forward. Because it does feel like I was never bored. Because I enjoy the humor and the fish out of water and all those elements. But it feels as if we've moved an inch, not a mile, in terms of story within 3 episodes. So, but also maybe because they don't want to blow their load, because they don't know how many episodes they don't get, how many seasons they don't get. So if they tell the whole story, it's like, this is a show, not a mini series or something. I would assume was their point. Episode 3, after this ATF sting operation, we get to learn more about the ATF and her experiences after 9/11 and after the Sully, the plane going down, which I know they made a movie with Tom Hanks about that, and what happened with her and how she was kind of escorted away for other lower end pastures. That's where we get a little bit more about the driver, who's mentioned about Goodfellas, mentioned about Ray Liotta. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. And, Stallone, stand up enough guy to say, listen, I'm not here to get you killed. And that's where you did one of the first instances of an action sequence involving Stallone, where you did a car chase. A decent car chase for what it needs to be. Nothing extravagant or anything. They're getting shot at. He tells and the guy with him is the guy running the driver's license test to help him pass. And Stallone has to tell him to shut the fuck up. And while I say I liked episode 2 a bit more, I would say of the first 3 episodes, this is probably the one, I wouldn't say I like the least, but it's the one I have the lesser of stuff to say about, other than I did not mind the conversation between him and the ATF agent lady. I thought that was pretty decent. I liked the bit of a car chase. I like when he visits the guy later who's in the hospital and, offers him some money. No, you're going to do something for me. Okay, imagine this is for your pain and suffering. Here's bits. And he sees the driver's license and he, in the car, he gets the guy's blood because he's bleeding from a crash. And he's writing down the fucking driver plate. I thought that was a nice little detail. I even like the last bit here where the ATF has rescued a dog and it's a stray and named it Chance. I like Stallone's line. Second chance or last chance? I'm not sure yet. And you get the idea that, yeah, she talked about the dog, but she's also talking about Stallone's character. And you have this somber music, almost feels like a horror movie music, as he's following the guy who tried to kill him. Sees that the guy has a kid and trying to figure out what to do next. Now, I'm guessing he doesn't kill the guy. If he did, I'd be surprised, but I'm guessing he doesn't kill the guy. I'm guessing there's some... Again, if he did, I'd be impressed and surprised, but I'm guessing that's what happens. But it does keep me intrigued to see what's going to happen next. Where is this going? What's going to be the end game of it all? How big is this operation going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma? What other aspects going to be employed within it? The guy who owns the bar, he makes an appearance in episode 3, because something about Stallone has his idea with nitrous oxide, and to be able to sell this for a shit ton of money. Like how to make operations bigger and bigger and get more money out of it. Pretty much turning this town into a, I don't know, maybe one day another Las Vegas or whatever city you want to name. But it definitely has a potential to be a damn good show. Because so far it's pretty solid. Pretty fun. And I like that there's at least some serious moments. Like him getting shot at and the car chase. The ending of episode 3. The emotional bit of breakdown, meltdown by Stallone in episode 2. It's nice that there's some... It's not just a goofball comedy, but there is some nice emotional moments for Stallone to play off as. What I would like to him find some other aspects of this town that are worse than he is. They probably won't do this just be too... How do I put it? I would like an episode where he finds out there is a underage kid sex circuit going on, so that Stallone could beat the shit out and kill them all. And like a Cold in July. Have you ever seen Cold in July? You know what I'm talking about. With that finale. Because while Stallone may be a mob guy, this is off limits. You know what, I'm going to get rid of you, but you don't get the fuck off this town. You don't get the fuck off this planet. I'm going to help you. That type of thing. Maybe too dark and too extreme for a show like this, but just to show the aspects of people worse than Stallone's mob character. To, number one, yes, as a mob guy, he's not an angel, but he's not the devil either, because there's people worse off with him, worse than him, and just, he wants to clean up his town, deal with this sick business, and just, Stallone just beat the shit out of and just kill these motherfuckers. Because that's people ask, what would I want a Cobra sequel? I want Cobra to go after those sick motherfuckers. That's why I want a sequel to this. Him go after those sick old P to the E to the D to the O motherfuckers. Go after them and fucking... Your disease. I'm the cure. If I can't get in a Cobra sequel, because it's too late now, maybe in this. But they won't do that because it'd be too... But I think that'd be sadly prevalent in today's age of the internet culture. And because this is a guy that doesn't know how the internet works. He's like confused by this. And then he gets more pissed off. Kind of like in episode 1 when just the idea of the guy who owned the car dealership being pissed off at his driver. You don't like him because he's black? And he's like, the way he beats the shit out of him. Now imagine how much more that would be. And like this little girl reminds him of the daughter he didn't get to know. I think that could be some nice powerful moments and drama, and I think you get some really big dramatic pathos and satisfying retribution, and again, that's not what they're going to do, I'm sure, but I'm just saying that would be nice to see something like that. Because if someone didn't beat the shit out of them, let Stallone's mob guy do it. Because I'm really starting to like... Not starting, I really do like Stallone's character in this. Very fun character to follow along. And also it'd be a way to really up the stakes even more in terms of either suspense or just intensity. Because that's the thing, I'm hoping the show becomes a bit more intense. It just still have the humor and fish out of water, but a little bit more intense as well. Like some people would say you would get in Sopranos or Breaking Bad and The Wire, other shows. I hope they do incorporate a little bit more of that in this. And if that goes to some darker subject material, I think it to be open to that. Because mob guys, I guarantee, hate those sicko motherfuckers, and just... That'd be nice to see. To witness that those sickos come up. But I don't know, that's just spitballing. Anyway, with that said, 2 fun episodes. Pretty good show so far. Thanks once again, Walter, and we'll see you guys later.